Hi, I'm Randall Stevens. I'm here on day one towards the end of the Building Content Summit in Scottsdale, and I'm joined by Jorge Barrero, who was one of our speakers this morning. He actually kicked off our perspective session. I've known Jorge for, we were trying to decide this morning, 10, 12 years or so. Jorge has been a staple in the visualization side of the industry, but he's one of those architects who kind of straddle both sides from the design and the visualization. So we've had a lot in common over our careers on the visualization front and been around each other. This morning, you kicked off a session talking about how important content is in the earliest stages of a project in the planning. Maybe you can give us just the 2-minute. It was a 75-minute presentation, which had a lot of great examples, but maybe you can give us kind of the 2-minute version of that.
Well, I would say in terms of planning for content that's going to be part of a project life cycle, it's really about understanding the team, their capabilities, and understanding the end result that you're trying to get to with the design solution, right, that you're working towards. It's trying to simplify your process, because right now, as wonderful as it is to have a large number of software packages available and content that continues to get much more intelligent and smart and complex. At the same time, we need to be the filters to create something that ultimately is going to give us the best value at the end of the day. So.
I failed to mention that Jorge spent most of it, the last 11 years at Gensler, and has moved to HKS and is leading some efforts there. One of the things I asked when I said it on your session earlier, from a manufacturer standpoint, a lot of times they're being asked to provide content. My guess is they think about visualization, they think about 3D. Not necessarily. Obviously, there's a lot of different levels of visualization. Maybe you can talk just for a second about, I was suggesting when I asked a question earlier this morning about, should a manufacturer can't make everything in all these different formats, but have you seen strategies where maybe some of the, especially at Gensler with a lot of the office furniture products, maybe, are there hero products? Is there a strategy that you've seen where manufacturers will pick some of the very visible things that get their content in very early in a project that might help them win?
Yes, I mean it seems like there's always a baseline. I think there's always a go-to product or a go-to start, but it does vary from designer to designer. And if there's a possibility to get the manufacturers early to the table, in terms of at least having a better understanding in terms of what, as a designer, we expect to do, right? Because we're not trying to sell, we don't need the most robust piece of geometry. We just need to convey these visions, right? It's all about communicating our ideas. And so, but there's definitely a baseline that, I think everybody kind of has our go-to library of things. And I think it goes for interiors and exteriors too. I think a lot of it is just following the trends. And, we're designing for timeless, spaces that we want to create. But I think we all have a general idea of what that is.
Well, we'll have to get you on, Aaron and I, on one of our more extended podcast sessions and talk more about this. But thanks for joining us.